Social media is changing everything about how clients see us. One wrong move online and your clinic's reputation could be shattered overnight. But what if you could turn even the most demanding negative client into a loyal fan? Today, we're breaking down the hidden traps that could sink your practice and the proven strategies top vets use to stay ahead of the game. If you want to protect your clinic, build a positive reputation in your community, and thrive in the age of likes and shares, you won't want to miss this.
Dr. Terrell, you've had such great success with your social media. You've had content that has been seen by millions of people, literal millions of people on the internet, which is amazing. You've probably learned a thing or two as you've gone through your social media experience and have had such great success with it. But is there anything that really comes to mind for you to avoid on social media?
Absolutely. And I think you learn more as you do it and as you go along. I started doing it for fun and laughs, and during COVID, whenever we were, shut down and very isolated, and our clinic was bored. And so it started off small and then, of course, grew over the years. But some biggest little points that I would say we really need to kind of look for is if you are starting to get into social media and want to either do it as your practice or as yourself. So for me, I do it for the most part just for my own brand. However, I do have a lot of clinic videos and stuff as well, but try to figure that out. And then once you figure that out, who are you trying to reach? Are you trying to reach pet parents? Are you trying to reach other veterinarians and other vet staff members? Finding out your audience is going to help you kind of know what type of videos that you want to produce. I will say one of the biggest things that I always recommend avoiding, and I've learned from experience, is that it's never a great idea to talk negatively, especially very negatively, about your client base, because they are your clients.
Yes.
That is who's coming in to see you for your professional opinion. And if you are dogging them, then why would they want to continue to come see you? So that's a big one. Even if you are focusing on hitting more of the vet med population with your videos and with your content, still keeping in mind, if clients saw this might not come off great, or it might make me look a certain way to where they would not want to come into my practice.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And what do you, when you think of say you guys all think of a content piece and you're like, how do you weigh the risk and the benefit maybe? Because it could be something you guys think is fun.
Yeah.
Could be kind of risky. Or do you even think about that? Or you're like,
I do. I definitely think more. Yeah. I definitely think more of it now that it's grown as it has. Initially, I started off with a very small following. And then when I created a video that gained a lot of popularity, it was done out of place of humor and fun and silly, because that's primarily the videos that I make. And it really took off, and then got a lot of heat from that, both in a good way and a bad way. So just kind of now I really think, okay, what am I trying to do with this video? Where, who am I targeting? What am I trying to say? Am I trying to make people laugh? Am I trying to inform people on really important topics in the vet med world? Just trying to come up with a mindset and a plan on those types of things to know this is who you want to reach and this is what you want that content to do for those followers.
Yeah, it's interesting. The mindset part of it, I think, is really, really interesting too, because you might want to put something out there and kind of just be expressing something that you want to, or be funny or whatever. But even best intentions might get negative reactions.
Absolutely.
And
Not
it's
everybody has your same humor.
Right.
And I found that out the hard way.
And so it's like having that mindset ahead of time of like, okay, there might be some, whatever the definition of negative, comments or whatever it's going to be, but it's kind of like sometimes all press is good press sort of thing. So the point of it is to have engagement and to have whether it's pet parents or fellow veterinarians be part of what your story is. But maybe like, can you expand a little bit on that mindset that you need to have going into it, like being okay with someone maybe disagreeing or whatever?
Absolutely. So that's something that I feel like I'm pretty good at. I've got pretty tough skin. I feel like a lot of vets, when you have to, because you're going to get, told all the things that you don't want to hear as a vet or a vet tech. So I do have pretty tough skin when it comes to it. So I wasn't super shy about, I'm not a shy person anyways, but I wasn't super shy creating videos to where if somebody thought I look stupid, okay, I had so many people say, like, basically make fun of my accent or how I say things, like, oh my gosh, did she graduate high school and stuff like that, which honestly it just made me laugh because I get it. Like, I sound different than a lot of people. But
I think it's more of a them problem than
and it reflects anything super negative like that. I'm just like, that reflects more on you than it does on me. And I just, for the most part, let it roll off my back. Now, I will say that there were definitely threats, and we got some voice memos and voicemails and stuff from people that were not clients, that were, out in California, whatever, just because they saw a video that they did not like. Wow. And that, I'm just like, what do you have to do in your day that you're that you just like, time. Let's take it and let's call and let's ruin this person's day. Right. Which thankfully, it doesn't really ruin my day. I do sometimes get very frustrated and sometimes I will get upset, but you kind of have to have tough skin and know, look, you're going to be critiqued. You are going to potentially be made fun of. You're potentially going to have bad reviews written about you based on your content because somebody didn't like that you really enjoy feeding your dogs this food or promoting this food for your clients. And they're saying, oh my gosh, how could you do that? You're going to kill all these pets. Not everyone's going to agree with you, and you have to be okay with that.
Yeah. Speaking of mindset, also on another note, I feel like the thing that's really great about your videos that you post, that you come across as a real person. You're like literally talking to your audience, and I think that really draws people in. Can you talk a little bit more about that aspect of like how you portray yourself and maybe things to avoid for the actual content and how you're coming across?
Yeah. So one thing about me is what you see is what you get, and I'm not going to be somebody who is gonna show you, oh, well, this is how I am in the exam room, and then this is how I am with, outside of it with friends and stuff. I'm the exact same person, whether you are in my clinic or out in town. And so that's what I also wanted to portray for my videos as well. I do want to make sure that people know this is me. I'm goofy, I'm quirky, I'm a little over the top. So there's just a lot of wild, crazy, fun scenarios that I just want to be real and honest with my clients. I want to be real and honest with any of my followers. And I think that's a lot of the reason why I have the clients that I have, is because they want that honesty. They know they're going to get that, even if they're getting bad news. They know I'm going to be real with them because I'm going to be real and blunt and honest about it no matter what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So that was one thing that I didn't want it to seem any of my stuff. And obviously I pretend and I do silly stuff and whatnot, but I am just that 100% silly person that just wants to have fun, but also wants to spread awareness about important veterinary medicine content. And I think it's really hard to decipher nowadays with how big social media is to know, okay, well, they're promoting this product or they're saying this stuff. Do they really mean that? Would they do that off camera?
Right.
And I never want anybody to really doubt that if I'm recommending something on camera, that I wouldn't recommend it off camera, or, even vice versa. And so, just being authentic, being true self is really important with social media. It's going to, I think, really connect with your audience that you're trying to target.
I love that. And I think that the trap people do fall into is that they feel like they have to perform, or it has to be, have a certain image. And, at the end of the day, the easier thing is just to be yourself. Yeah. And then you just, like, you don't have to like put on another face for the camera or whatever.
Absolutely.
And it's probably the easier approach at the end of the day and less stressful.
Yeah. I mean, if they don't like you, if they don't like you, they don't like you. But in the end, you're staying true to yourself, and it's going to be a lot better for you mentally to just be yourself and not have to perform, to act a certain way and do things, compromise your morals or your beliefs to fit a certain mold.
Social media can be tricky, but sometimes it's the simplest, most honest posts that really hit home. So in this segment, we're recreating a viral video from our very own co-host, Dr. Terrell. Her video, titled 5 Breeds I Wouldn't Own Because I'm a Veterinarian, racked up 9.8 million views on TikTok back in 2022. So we're going to recreate it. I'll share the 5 breeds that I wouldn't own personally as a veterinarian, and we'll see if Dr. Terrell's 5 breeds have changed at all in the last couple of years since her video went viral. All right, I'm going to kick us off here and go into the 5 breeds that I personally wouldn't own as a veterinarian. So my first one is the bulldogs. So I'm going to kind of put in all the brachycephalics in there. And just for all of the issues they have with that, all of the skin issues.
Oh yeah. The breathing issues.
The major breathing issues. Like, I'd like dogs to, run around and feel free that they can breathe. So I'm putting all those guys in there, thrown in the pug too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So he's going to be number 2. My third one is Shiba Inu.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The screamers.
They scream.
Yeah. So, like, if you just look at them the wrong way, they'll be like,
I do. I have a few of them, and you really have to warm them up, and you're like, it's okay. And boy, if you just make one wrong move.
Yeah. Even if you warm them up, you just never know when it's going to happen.
That's true.
And
they do have the best coat, though. Like, they're so, like the Akitas, like, it's that
beautiful,
thick. So thick and stuff, dense.
Yes. Had more trouble getting to the end here, but I'm going to do Westies.
Oh, problems.
Lovely dogs, but skin problems galore.
They're born white.
Yes.
They often don't stay white.
Right. There'll be a little pink on the ends of things. So those poor guys. And then my last one, I'm going to do Bull Mastiff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, how come on that one?
On the skin folds, or actually, now that I think about it, all the skin fold issues and and just a lot of the slobbers that comes out. It's just a lot. So anytime there's a shaking of the head, it'll be like whoosh, all over.
Oh yeah, yeah. I get that. Yep, I get that. I will say I'm very partial to large dogs, so I can deal with the slobber.
Yeah, I do love
but the skin fold, that's a rough one. Yeah.
All right, your turn.
Yeah, so going back to my video from several years ago, I mean, I don't really think much has changed, to be honest. let's see, I think we had number 5 was hairless dogs and cats. It's just, I like fluffy. I like fluffy and petting them, and I have no fur and stuff, so I want to pet something that's soft and fluffy and silky. And
You
then
don't like the silky skin?
it's just
So cute.
they're cool,
Yeah.
but they're just not for me. And then Chihuahuas. Now I will say my mom has Chihuahua, and some of them are so adorable, and my several of my patients and stuff are really great. But you know, they're just, again, they're small.
Yeah.
I have actually had this one. I'm a very tall person as well, and if I will step on something that small, and it won't be well. So, but yeah, and then they're usually yippy and one person dogs a lot of times. So, I like a more social dog.
Yeah.
Brachycephalics, I agree. That was
Yeah.
a big one for me, and it's just because of there's so many medical problems.
Yeah.
I mean,
I feel so bad for them.
I know, and they're cute.
Yes.
Like, I love them. They're
Yeah.
adorable. Like Frenchies, my partner has Frenchies.
Yep.
They're adorable, but they
Yes.
can't breathe. You pretty much have to have surgery on them if you want them to be able to breathe somewhat normally. And the back issues, the allergy issues.
Yes.
I mean, one of my favorite patients is a Frenchie, but Lord have mercy, she comes in for her allergies all the time. So again, adorable, but it's too much maintenance going on there for me. German Shepherds and Belgian Malinois, they're just too time consuming to train.
Yeah.
I don't have time for that, because to have one, and I mean, like, my best friend has a German Shepherd, and he's the best dog ever. But especially with, you know, strong, loyal breed dogs like that, they take really intense training to have them not act a fool in public, and especially at the vet clinic. And I would not. I would be very, like, embarrassed, and I would not want my dog to act like that. So I would want to have strict training. Yeah. And I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
And a lot of them don't
there's a
like
hip
me
issue.
anyways, so because I'm trying to poke them with needles. Yeah, so that's just, the hip issue, for sure. And they're usually the ones that get GDV.
Yes.
So I feel like I had one not too long ago.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah. And then, of course, the number one is Doodles. That's why the video blew up, because everyone
Everyone's a
either
Doodle fan.
thought was really funny and were like, I get it, or, oh my gosh, very offended. But again, way too high maintenance for me. I mean, this has been the most that I've actually done my hair and my makeup. The entire, like, last month has been in the last 2 days, because we're at the conference and we're doing the podcast and stuff. So believe me, if I can't take care of myself, I don't think I can take care of a dog that needs to be groomed every month and have their ears done.
And that energy.
Oh, the energy. And they eat all the things. I mean, like, why do they eat all this stuff? The ear infections. Yeah. The ear infections, the allergies, the anxiety, just everything. And a lot of them are great dogs, but it's too much.
Yeah.
Give me a smelly hound and I'm all in.
And they're everywhere. They are the dog. Yeah.
Oh yeah. They're
so
everywhere.
You see them constantly.
They are, and where I'm at too, unfortunately, you know, obviously they're a mixed breed from poodles, whether it's Goldens or Labs or, you know, whatever that they're being mixed with. But unfortunately, a lot of people just do it to make money, and they're not having, you know, good parentage. And so that's when you start seeing a lot of the ones with behavioral problems or congenital issues. And I think that's one of the biggest, honestly, that's probably one of the main things too that I have with it. Because whenever they're bred well and you have really great dogs because of it. But yeah, unfortunately where I am, we don't always see that.
Yeah. So how was your experience when you posted that video? Tell me more about, like, how that video, like, affected you, your clinic, what it was like to go through that experience. 'Cause It's a pretty cool thing for a video to go viral, and I've never had that experience. I'd love our listeners to like learn about that experience.
Yeah, and that one went very viral. It was alarming, to be honest, because I mean I had not many followers at the time. I mean, probably under 1,000, and so there was this new trend that was like 5 things I wouldn't do or whatever, and it was a lot of like human physicians or other people in different fields, and I'm like, hey, I haven't seen a vet do this. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Like, or it was like 5 things they would do, and so I'm like, how about 5 breeds I wouldn't have, because I feel like that's kind of relevant. And then went to bed, opened my phone the next day, and I was like, so it was alarming. And then there was definitely a moment of panic to where I was just like, oh, because then the following count started skyrocketing, the viewing count and the comments, and then you're reading the comments, and like some people was like, so funny, hilarious, they got it, and then some people were very triggered by it, did not find it funny, found it unprofessional, just kept on and kept on. And so then I started panicking, and I've been making videos. Yeah. And I'd been making videos for a while, and with, even employees and stuff at the clinic. So, they knew we would do it. But then I started panicking on like, oh gosh, what if people get mad about this video? What if my clients don't like this video? And so that's why now I really try to be more mindful and really think, how could this be maybe misinterpreted, or is this the type of content I want to put out? Right. Because, looking back now, probably could have worded things a little differently, or came off in a, different way. But do I regret it? No. It got me to where I am today. It's definitely created new experiences for me. It has actually brought me in clients to our practice because of it, because they say, hey, I saw you on TikTok, or I saw you on this article. So it's definitely one of those things that, looking back, would I've done it differently? I would like to say I probably would change things now, but would it have given the same result? Would I be here because of it? I don't know. One of the things too is, with that, it was shocking. I was a little worried that my who's now my partner at the time was going to kill me because all the views.
Did he know that you were doing?
He knew. I mean, he knows that I was doing videos and stuff, and he, I would show him and stuff. But then again, I had very few followers.
Right.
And so when it blew up, and then I'm like, oh no, people are mad. And then we did get some spam reviews from, random people across the country who were not clients at all. Unbelievable. We had a few phone messages that I will save to this day because they're just great to listen to. And so that was when I started to panic, and I was like, I'm going to get fired. But everybody was just a little bit like, oh, we're having a few things. I'm like, it's okay. We're going to report it to Google. We're going to, delete these messages. They're not clients anyways. Right. They don't care. Because again, people who are my clients, they know me.
Right.
They know my goofiness. They know how silly I am, and they know that I'm going to be honest with them. So
it speaks to that authenticity thing. Like, you're you no matter what, in all the social media that you put out there.
Yes.
Or in the room. You're the same person.
So yes, we did have a little bit of negative blowback, but not really from clients. I mean, there were a couple that, let's be honest, weren't fans of mine anyways. That had made comments and stuff, but I mean, again, I saw more positives out of it. I actually gained clients because of it. I specifically remember one of my daughter's teachers at the time said, hey, I didn't realize you're a vet. I saw your video. Can you remove this mass on my dog? We go somewhere else. But they were going to refer us to this specialist. It had a tumor on the ear. And I was like, yeah, I can do it. Let me look at it, and
Yeah.
I should be able to do it.
That's
And so we
great.
did. So it's just little things like that, because they did see me and they were like, oh, well, that's kind of funny. And they might have watched that video, and then they go through the other videos and they're like, oh, hey, she's funny, or
Right.
she seems
She's
like
real.
she's cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's real. She's going to be honest and not put on this fake doctor persona, like, oh, I'm a robot, this is what you should do with your dog, blah blah blah. Like, no, let's chat. I mean, I love getting to know my clients too. Like, I mean, spill the tea when you
Yes.
come into the clinic. So
Tell me all the
yes. Just like social media, veterinary medicine is always evolving, and with every new year comes new trends. Some are really exciting, and some have us scratching our heads. In this segment, we're talking about vet trends we're buying and selling in 2025. If it's a trend we like, we'll buy it. But if we think it's overhyped, we're selling it. Here we go. Okay, so here's the first trend I'm buying. AI-powered diagnostic tools. I mean, why not?
Yes.
Why would you not want help with your soap notes? I use VetRec, which is a AI scribe. I know there's other options out there, Scribe Note, Scribble Vet. There's so many different options, but gone are the days of working hours after the
Yes,
clinics
they
actually
should be gone.
close. Yes, yeah, that's right. Yeah, should be. So I think we definitely need to have AI technology. We need to look positively at it to where, hey, this could really help us out. It can help me get my medical records done faster. Now you can do different types of diagnostics using AI. So there's just, the possibilities are endless. I don't think computers are going to take over the world. It's yet to be seen. But I think that we can really make the most of it. So I'm buying it.
Yeah, totally agree. I totally agree. That's a good buy. I think for the efficiency piece of it, like you're saying, like you're saving time, 100% gone are the days, and should be gone the days where you're staying until 10 p.m. doing notes. And having that efficiency, and then also like future state where, AI can be pulling all of that data together with other diagnostics, and kind of prompting, differentials or something like that, future
Yeah.
state. So I think those tools are incredible, and clinics should definitely be looking into those. So total buy, agreed.
What about you? What
so
are you buying?
I am gonna buy subscription-based pet care plans.
Oh, yeah.
I come from clinics where we did that, so so it's something really ingrained in me, and I don't know how we would do things without them. Honestly,
Really?
they were so helpful in getting clients to do the things they need to do for their pets, like having the option to have things included where blood work, for example, where they may not have been able to do the blood work and you really need it.
Yeah.
So it was such a relief to be able to be like, oh, they have blood work available. Great. We're doing this and this and this. They have x-rays available. Awesome. And then it's an easier conversation in the room.
Yeah.
It's, they feel better. You feel better. You're getting all the things you need to do for that pet, and it just benefits everyone.
Yeah. And so with that too, I'm sure that it helps with the financial burden from the owner,
Yes.
because they get to break those costs down more monthly. Is that
Exactly.
correct?
Yes. And that way they can plan,
Yeah.
and there's less of that price shock, and it just it's more, they're more easily divided out by month, so they know what to expect for payments. So what trend are you selling?
Okay. It's going to be a hot take.
Yeah.
I am selling corporate ownership of vet clinics.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah. And I am a partner in a practice. So we are a private ownership. I'm just all for vets being in control of their own practice and being able to really be there and know, okay, this is our clinic. This is how we want to run things. these are the diagnostics that we can get, and you don't have somebody kind of looking over your shoulder. You can practice how you want to. And that's not saying that all corporate practices are bad by any means. I do think that we often see, I feel like higher turnovers in corporate practices with veterinary staff. I also think that higher prices typically come with that. Now, granted, a lot of that is because they probably pay their staff a little bit better than what private practices can usually afford. But I am all for I love being a business person aside from just a veterinarian. But I'm all for taking ownership in your practice. It's a source of pride. I feel like you're giving back to your community at that point as well, and you're just not another cog in the machine. You're making a difference. For me, it's small town life and everything, and so it's just something that's really important to me, I guess.
All right, so a trend I'm selling is, and this is a hot topic too, so vegan diets for pets.
Wow. Yeah.
Many reasons, and mostly just, and it's not just vegan, but also like I don't mind the at-home thing, but there's a lot of education that needs to be going along with it. So I just worry about vegan only diets, like imposing personal human things onto pets is a bit rough, and not totally fair to the pet. I realize that pet owners, feel strongly about it, and I totally understand all the reasons. But speaking purely from a professional health sort of mindset of making sure that pets have all of the nutrients they need, all the vitamins and minerals, and the protein content that they need. So that one's a tough one for me to hear when in the room when people are talking about that, because
it's a trigger for me as well. And it's one of those things that they're feeding these diets because they think that it is healthier, or they think that it's going to be the best option. But I always try to remind my clients that dogs are not small furry humans, and cats are not small dogs. And we all have different nutritional needs, and we have to make sure that we are feeding those appropriately, and not because it's super trendy. And it's also important to not just listen to some random person on social media. Make sure that they are, if you want to follow people like myself or other veterinary professionals, that's great. But still, even that, you should not be taking solely my advice on social media. You should also use that information to go to your vet and be like, hey, I heard this vet talking about this on social media. Can you explain in more detail?
Yeah. On top of that, to expand I'm selling this trend is that exact thing of like taking all the human trends and putting it on my pet.
Gluten-free.
Yes.
The second trend that I'm buying is expanded use of veterinary technicians. There's a lot going on in the vet world right now. A lot of drama for new positions being created and whatnot. Just a little. And I want us to make sure that our credentialed veterinary technicians are not being forgotten. I think they still need to be elevated in everyone's practice, even if they are using their full potential now. Well, guess what? You can look into becoming a VTS, specializing in certain areas. I recently met a VTS that had specialized in dentistry. She was awesome. She helped us train for our dental x-ray that we have. I think we just really need to show our credentialed veterinary technicians that they are appreciated, use them to their full potential. And it is proven with studies that a fully utilized vet tech is more profitable for your practice than even another veterinarian. And that should tell you that we need to make sure and start utilizing our vet techs.
Love that one. Yeah, totally agree. It's a good one. All right. So my next one I'm buying is to telemedicine.
Oh, yeah.
So I love this for a couple of reasons. So one, just the extra connection that you can get with your clients. I think vets are doing this a lot anyway. And I know it's not in the, telehealth kind of concept, but you're on the phone with your clients all the time. So having this be like a telehealth visit, I think is really cool. And it's a really nice option for not only the pet owner, but also for the vet to have. Yeah. And I think also what's really great about that is the ability for vets to have another option of how they work. So you could even have a world where some of your doctors are on telehealth like hours and they can be at home doing that.
Yeah.
So, of course, with veterinary patient VCPR.
Yeah. Okay. The last one that I'm selling is non-necessary medical procedures. Things like tail docking, ear cropping, even declawing cats. It is illegal in a lot of countries for these things to be done. I went to vet school in Ireland, as you know, and the only way that you can get some of these procedures done is if they are hunting dogs, if they're at risk for certain things. I feel like we're past this. We have evolved. Do we really need that Doberman's ears cropped because they're getting infected? We don't do them. However, I have removed quite a few sutures, I feel like, in the last several years for ear cropping. And I mean, they get infected. They look gross. They're, not the same size. Why are we doing that? It's cosmetic only.
Right.
Let's get rid of it.
Yep.
Done. I'm done with it.
Done. I'm over it. All right. I am going to sell the kind of lack of education around CBD product use. Like that people just buying anything kind of willy-nilly off the shelf, not really looking into it, just assuming again, oh, humans take it and should be fine, so it should be fine for my dog. I'm not against the products, but there are some really amazing products that have backed data, a lot of research that goes into them, and reported ingredients and really well maintained production. So I would say making sure that there's a lot of education around it, that pet owners are like looking into the label and understanding where it's coming from and what the product actually is. Yeah.
And I think that's a good point too, because it is a nutraceutical, especially in pets, it's not regulated the same as medications.
Right.
And right now we don't have any good strict dosages that, are in these treats and whatnot, supplements. So you've got a very wide range of products out there, and they can all respond and react differently. So I think being aware of those differences and educating yourself on that is, be really
absolutely good. Knowing what you're buying and making sure you're not buying the thing that is made in someone's bathtub somewhere. So. All right, friends, it is time for the Animal Ally Pledge. Here's how it works. We're here in the studio sharing tips, stories, and laughs to bring some joy into your life, all for free. All we're asking is one simple thing. Just hit that subscribe button on YouTube. What happens if you don't? Well, we're going to just assume you let clients feed dogs chicken bones for dinner. But if you do, you officially join the ranks of Animal Allies, a community of vets making the world better, one wagging tail at a time. So take the Animal Ally Pledge, subscribe to the Vet Reset on YouTube, and let's get better together.
Managing social media as a vet isn't easy. One post can make you look like a hero to your clients, while others can turn into a headache you didn't see coming. In this segment, we're putting ourselves in the hot seat with the Social Media Do's and Don'ts Challenge. We'll go through some tough scenarios that vets face online and figure out if they're smart moves or accidents waiting to happen. Let's see where we land.
All right, you're up first. Do or don't. Publicly responding to a client's misleading post about your clinic.
For a client's misleading post, I do. Yeah, I do. I like do it in a good, nice, professional way. But yeah, I think it's a good way to say, hey, sorry you're dissatisfied. Would you like to come in and talk about it? Whatever. So yeah,
Yep.
I'm doing that.
I'm doing it.
All right, now it's your turn, Dr.
Okay.
Siegel. Do or don't. Calling out a client's behavior anonymously in a post about clinic policies.
I actually think it doesn't have to be anonymous, but and also not calling it out. But again, professionally stating what the policy is and reinforcing it. I think that's okay to say it that way, and owning it. It's your policy, and it doesn't have to be done in a bad or nasty way, but it's just
so sorry. This is our policy.
Sorry, this is it. So I'm doing it. Do or don't, creating a TikTok using a trending sound that is slightly inappropriate.
I feel like I do that a lot. So I'm probably going to go ahead and say do, but again, know your audience.
Yes.
If your audience is not into that sort of thing, don't. But for me, I play on the dark humor, maybe slightly inappropriate, but it's things that I joke about in the clinic too. So I'm doing it.
Yeah. Love it.
Okay, so for you, do or don't, highlighting your clinic's price increases in a social post.
That I feel like I would not do.
Same.
I feel like social media is for the engagement and it's for, again, depending on what everyone's personality and how they're using it. But I feel like that's more of a something you want to have a conversation with someone in the clinic, or depending on what's going on or what they're in for or whatever.
Yeah,
so
I like that. I agree.
Yeah, more of an in the clinic thing.
Yeah.
On the next episode of the Vet Reset, we're diving into what every clinic struggles with: keeping operations running smoothly without the chaos. Let's face it, stress isn't just bad for you, it impacts your team and patients too. But what if your clinic could run like a well-oiled machine? We'll share practical tips to streamline your day-to-day, from quick daily huddles to automating the little things that eat up your time. We're talking smarter inventory management, cross-training your team, and using technology to save hours. If you're ready to reduce stress, improve care, and make life easier for you and your team, you won't want to miss this one.
Remember, great care starts with great systems, and empowering your team unlocks the full potential of your practice. Until next time.